Welcome back to the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. We are here for another episode of WTF with Becca, Lamar. And this one, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about some business stuff and some trends that we're seeing and
some things that are making us a little, I don't want to say angry, irritated.
Yeah. We find them very curious.
Yes, I think that's a better way to put it. I'm obviously angry about it.
Becca's like, I'm actually pissed,
I'm pissed.
but we'll say curious for the sake of that. So
I like
maybe
that is a more positive spin.
Like that was my dad and the curious drivers.
The
right?
creative drivers.
Oh, the creative drivers.
I love
yes.
that.
So
yeah.
He anyways. Okay, so let's just hop right in. You start.
Okay. So I was telling Stacy a story about how I was talking with my neighbor and her son is currently in school to get his PhD. So been going to school
forever.
I don't know. I don't have a PhD, obviously. But I said, what's he going to school for? And she said some, a little bit bizarre topic, something psychology. And I go, okay, like what kind of job are we getting then after school? And she said, well, he wants to be a consultant. And I instantly, as somebody in the entrepreneurial space who after 4 years of school and 15 years of work am now getting into consulting myself, found that interesting.
You called me.
Yeah. I was like, okay. How can you consult when you haven't done the job?
Yeah. Well, and we were talking, the conversation that we had at that moment was the only thing that you can consult on is going to school. Like that would be you can consult is how to go through school and get a PhD, because at the end of the day, your experience is your expertise. And the only thing that you have experience in real life, not theoretical,
right?
Not I read it in a book, but like the only thing you have experience in is going to school. So if you want to be a consultant for people on that,
if you want to tell me how to get a PhD, yeah, I will hire you for that. Because
I will listen.
Yeah, but to then teach me to essentially regurgitate what you were taught from a book without data and analytics of your own, I have a hard time with that, because for me, my experience was that I appreciate that I went to college and I appreciate that I have the foundation from there, and I learned so much more doing the thing, learning design programs, building businesses. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I can share my knowledge to an extent. And to hear that, and honestly, I hear that a lot from, I don't want to like group everyone into a place, but like this mid-20s crew.
Yeah.
The Gen Zs. I love you. And you have to work.
Yeah.
You do not just get to go make $1 million. Some of you might, and that's freaking amazing. And no one is just going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
Those people that are going to make the $1 million are going to be the ones that are taking risk, doing the things, putting themselves out there. And the fact that, another youngin said, well,
we're making ourselves sound so old.
Just got out of college and said, well, I need to make 6 figures. Like, yeah, you might need to make 6 figures, but what are you doing to make it a no-brainer that company or person will pay you 6 figures?
Yes. I think I feel like there's a few topics at hand here, but I want to follow that up with when I went to nursing school. It's like they can teach you and you go to clinicals, and so you actually are in like real life situations.
Right.
And it is still nothing like it is when you get out into the real world, and it's like you can think that it's all going to go this way, and then you realize that life is not Oh, life is not how it is portrayed in a book. Life is not how it, like, we are seeing ideals. We are, like, a book is telling you in an ideal situation with zero stress coming at you from any direction and all of this, this is exactly how this should play out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have social media.
Oh,
Also showing
what
us
a special place.
what a special place. And it also showing you this idealistic, curated thing where people are like, yes, I started my coaching business yesterday and I make $1 million. And I'm like, no, the fuck you don't. And
or what did you do leading up to that day?
yes, like we only see the after.
Yes.
And I think that's a thing that we are seeing more and more is that, especially in social media and these different things, is everybody sees the after and they want the after, but nobody's talking about what they had to do to get to that point. And something that I've said time and time again is I'm like, everything can come together overnight, but nothing happens overnight. And it is so many, it's years and years and years of all of this stuff of like falling on your face, shit not going your way, all this, like all these things, you're failing, you're doing it, you're switching it, you're gaining experience, you're going to the lowest of lows and you're in the highest of highs. That's what it takes to master something.
You're learning.
You're learning.
Trial and error.
Yes.
That's how all those books that you read in school got their answers.
Yeah.
From being out there and doing the thing and getting an answer.
Yes. And it's so easy to talk about things from a theory perspective. And it's honestly one of Andrew and I's biggest pet peeves is because to me, they talk about 10,000 hours, right, is what it takes to become a master at something.
Right.
And if you haven't put in those 10,000 hours, then you haven't had the time to fail enough to even be great. I saw something the other day. It said, don't call me lucky when I've failed more times than you've tried.
Oh my God. That is like so fucking true. You know how many times people have said, oh, you're so lucky because it worked for you. No, I fucked up so many times. This business that I have now is my 5th business.
Yeah.
Like the other 4 don't exist because they didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that so many, so there's this, to be a master also, you have to experience the high, the low, and everything in between to realize that it is always a roller coaster. And to be a master, you have to know how to handle it at every turn in something. And so I think you're, again, going back to experience. Experience is what allows us to become that. And I've seen, I believe that I can learn something from everybody. But there's a couple of things that in this world that I've seen. One is we went on this mission trip to Guatemala and they brought down this 21-year-old pastor. And I was like, I want to be very clear because people look at me and they'll say, you're very young. What can I really learn from you? And I was like, the amount of life experience I've had in 36 years, like I've put myself in a lot of situations. So it's not about the age to me. Mm-hmm. It's about the experience that you have.
Right.
And this guy I was like, I love to listen to a good sermon, or I don't know, is that what you call them? I'm like, I love, but I love to listen because I think I can learn something from anything. And so I love to listen because I'm like, I love knowledge and I could crave it. So I was like, I'll listen to, and he was so articulate and so that kid knew that book back and forth, right? But that's what he knew is the book. Mm-hmm. And then we went out into the field and we went out and we would be building houses and we were with these Guatemalans who barely had anything and just were out there. And he is like, he couldn't have wanted to get out of there fast enough.
Oh, what?
And I'm like, I think he'll grow out of it.
Right.
I truly do. But he is like the most buttoned up and they're like, he's on the path to success. And I'm like, of presenting a lot of theory, but you don't have the life experience to back it up, to realize that everything is not as simple and clear cut and clean and dry as you want to believe it is in that book.
Well, and what happens when people start questioning him and pushing back a little bit and telling him his process is not working for them?
Yeah, I think that I'll go back to the book.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, the book
says this, and it's like, life is not a book. And life isn't that black. It's not black and white, and it's not so simple. And we are like, at least for me, I just think that you have to gain experience in the thing that you want to do. I think about Andrew. He never finished college, and he is such a successful EOS implementer now. And it is because of the amount of experience he has. So like, no, he didn't do the traditional route whatsoever. And he worked for a company for 7 or 8 years that ran on EOS. And so he knew the ins and the outs and all the things. Then he built a company that ran on EOS for years. And then he finally went to boot camp to become an EOS implementer after 15 years at least of experience. And I think there's not a lot of, there's like no barrier to entry, especially when it comes to coaching and certain things. It's like you can just pay the money and go and get some sort of certification. And now all of a sudden you've got this piece of paper.
Right. Yeah. It's hard because, I mean, kind of to what you're saying, I went to college, and like I said earlier, I'm thankful for that. And I have 3 young kids that everyone's like, oh, get the college fund together. I'm like, do they need to go to college? Because everything I do now, I feel like you could learn from experience, from teaching yourself online and from doing the thing itself. I mean, it's crazy what you can learn from just finding something and learning about it and doing it and seeing what works and what doesn't. And yeah, so sorry, I lost my train of thought a little bit. But
Okay.
What did you say right before this?
We were just talking. Now I don't even know. Should we just keep going?
Yes. We will keep going.
Because I do have another, like,
about the coaching thing. Sorry.
No, you're good. We're back. We are back in business. All right.
We got there. No, but to your point, everybody, I think, not everybody, in the social media, specifically the Instagram world, there is a huge push and influx of coaches.
Yes.
And I could turn around tomorrow and call myself a coach. And have I thought about doing that? Of course. Like, people make it look so easy. You just offer your services and then you coach somebody.
For $1 million.
And then you make $1 million. And can you? Sure. I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
And from my experience with certain coaches, because you were my coach at one point.
Yeah.
There are people who are using the title not for good.
Yeah.
And for selfish reasons. And not because they truly believe that they can help somebody, but because they believe they can make money.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the problem that I have is that we don't think we have to work for anything.
Right.
And I think that is what I'm like. We think that we should just it's this Amazon Prime effect. That's what we called it. Is the Amazon Prime effect, where we think that we should be able to get something, and 2 days later we should be this success, and we should be able to create all this passive income, and we shouldn't have to work, and we shouldn't have to trade time for money, right? That's a whole thing. Like,
don't trade itself.
Yeah, like, don't trade time for money. I'm like, in what? Like, yes, 100% we need to be doing that. And when I started my nutrition coaching business, which was my second business and kind of on accident, but I will never forget that I wanted to take this mentorship. It was $300 a month. Okay. And this could go into a whole nother topic. Now people would tell you, just spend it and it'll come back to you.
Oh.
And I'm like, or don't, like find a way to get the money and pay for it and so I'll never forget that I went online, I went on Facebook and I put out a post and I said, hey, I'm trying to do this nutrition coaching mentorship and what did I need? I needed 6 people because I needed $300 a month. So I was like, I need 6 people that are willing to let me be their coach and so that I can pretty much use you as a guinea pig, and was just so transparent. I was like, so I can do this, but I need 6 people to pay me $50 a month.
Right.
Okay? $50.
Accessible. A very accessible offer.
Very accessible rate. And I'm not making shit. Let's be
right.
I'm not making anything actually. But $50 a month, because you guys, I don't have any social proof that this works. I don't know what I'm doing. And I am willing to tell you that because that's why I'm doing this, so that I can learn. And that's something I think is missing, is that people they're not being honest about.
There's this like industry, quote unquote, I don't want to say industry standard, but the $1,000 to $3,000 a month for coaching from somebody who potentially has never coached somebody but will not tell you that. Yes. I'm like, oh, you get 2 sessions for $2,000. I'm like, I mean, I did that. I was paying somebody $1,000 a month to later find out that she had never coached somebody before me. Which, did I learn something? Yes. And I would have appreciated more that she would have been authentic and transparent, because I was the one that approached her and said, hey, do you do coaching? I just listened to you talk. I really liked what I heard. Like, I would love to work with you. And she, sold me essentially. And then to later find out that was not all the whole truth. I don't know. Like, it just makes you question. We all know social media is fucking fake. It's not real. It's curated. It's what somebody chooses to let you see about their lives. And with the coaching side, people are just choosing to take this piece of paper potentially, or potentially nothing, just somebody telling you
1,000%.
You can be a coach, and scamming people. It's like the biggest pyramid scheme of our time.
Yeah, but I don't even think that people, here's what I will say. I don't think that people are ill-intentioned. Like, I think they really think that this is how it should work, that this is how it should be, is that I just get to start charging people as much as I possibly want. And
see, I kind of do.
You think different.
A little bit, maybe because I have witnessed
my
people
innocence.
being just extremely selfish. And it's like a me, I need more. I want the money. I saw this person was charging 10 grand, so I'm going to do it too. And it's not because they're just naive. I think they're a little not, I don't want to like say it's everybody, but I think some people are greedy.
Yeah. I will say that I've been one of those people that tried to charge so much money. Oh my God. Because I had a coach that I was paying a stupid amount of money for, that I learned so much. I would never pay that kind of money for a coach ever again. And I learned so much, and this is nothing against her. I would never recommend that anybody do that. But they were like, you should be charging this. And I tried it. I felt like the biggest fraud on the entire planet. And then I have this other mentor who is 70. She's like 67. I don't know. And
she's 100.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somewhere between 50 and 75.
Most of my best friends are at least 100. So it's just the way it goes. But everything that she did was so accessible. And I'm not even saying that, like, if you want to charge $1 bajillion, like, go for it. fine. But it was so wrong for me. Like it just my like the one that's 100. She was I just felt so good about giving her money. And I felt like she gave me so much quality back in return. And it was just such a great experience in comparison to put somebody paying me like all this crazy money. And the like, there's got to be so much pressure to that too. But it just is. It's crazy to me that that this is happening in the coaching space. And I think you have to just be very careful of like it's now I've been coaching for 7-8 years now, and I still don't think that what I charge is like a crazy amount of money, because I believe that it should be accessible, but it's more coming back to the fact that we have to like earn it.
Right.
Like you get to a certain place because you've been through the trenches. And like we were saying, if you have never done it before, just say that.
Right.
People are, I have done multiple beta groups where I'm like, hey, I'm going to charge you a fraction of what I would probably normally charge because I want to test something out. Do you want to be a test subject?
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, yes. But like we're all on the same page. Like just be honest about where you are
There's
and what
no
you're doing.
secrets then.
Yes.
And we've done that too. We just were trying the quick turnaround website in a day, and we said to somebody, "Hey, we're moving this to a 1-day service. Do you want to try it? It's this much money." And they said, "Yeah." And I didn't walk in there saying, "Oh yeah, we do this all the time." We had never done it.
Yeah.
I thought we could do it, and we did. But it was a test run, and that person did know that it was a test run. So I think the fact that people think they can just duplicate what somebody on social media chose to show you as the after is like the big frustration here with me, because we are the one right now, we're both in a growth phase in business, and we can see that the passive income and the coaching world, it's not just an overnight success. It's something that, can you get there? 1,000%. And it's not going to be that you just create a 1-pager and you throw it up on your website and then you're making $1 million a day.
Yes.
It is you getting out behind your computer, getting out into the world, talking to people, not curating this perfect life on Instagram, being authentic, and growing your business that way.
And I think that we're setting people up for failure. That's what I think is sad, is that these people could be amazing coaches, and we're setting them up to fail because you're showing them the after and not the messy middle that it took to get to the after. And so people think that everything is supposed to be perfect and it's all supposed to work like this. And it's like, well, as long as I do this, this, and this, then I will have this. And it's like, it's not how it works. And one of the things is I think everybody wants to be an online coach, right? And they all want to build their businesses through social media and through online. And it's funny because when you get out from behind the computer, if you were to go into a professional service, okay, and you were to be a consultant, I mean, consultants are getting paid between $100 and $500 an hour, who have been in the business for probably 20 to 50 years. I mean, and so it's almost like we're delusional. I legitimately think that there's so much of it that is like, why do you think that you should just be able to walk out and charge all this money when you haven't? And I guess my point is that social media tends to show us one thing, and then if you go out into the real world,
there's no consistency. I mean, what I want to say back to that is that something I've witnessed personally multiple times is that you see somebody online, you see this life they're showing you, you see this business they're showing you, and you decide, yes, that's for me. And then you meet this person in real life, and it could not be more different. Like, there was somebody I met who is out there and showy and this and that. She could not be bothered to talk to anybody in real life in a group setting. But like,
curious.
It's so, and the same for business. And maybe people could say, like, I probably did that at one point in my business too, because it's easy to show the wins. It's easy to show the end of the project. Like, we've had projects fall apart, unfortunately, and fortunately that we could learn from them to clean them up for next time. But when you go to work with somebody, you want to have an experience with that person, and that should be consistent with what that person is showing on their social media, person or business, whatever it is.
I think a lot of it comes down to integrity too, that this is one of the things that I have found is that inconsistency. Well, this is why I refuse to put a filter on my face on social media, because I was like, could you imagine? I never want somebody to meet me in real life and be like, oh,
yeah, you look different.
That's not how you look with your perfect face and your perfect, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm like, I never ever want somebody to see me and be like, think something that is just not true.
Right.
But even I always say that the coaching industry on social media right now is like the wild, wild west. It is, there are no rules. There is no, there's no standards. There is nothing.
Well, you can be a coach for anything.
You can be a coach for anything. Yes. You can literally be a coach for anything, which I think is actually kind of cool. Like, because maybe we need more people.
Well, maybe the word is not coach. Like, maybe that's the dilemma.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to
the pricing,
solve that problem.
I think, is the bigger dilemma.
The pricing is the bigger dilemma. Yeah. And what I was going to say about integrity is that I know for a fact that people will charge different things depending on how much they think somebody will pay. And I was talking to a client the other day, and he's newer into entrepreneurship, and he was talking about giving discounts and different things. And I said, listen, I don't think there's a right and wrong. I think you have to do what feels good to you. I said, but here's my thing, is that I don't give anybody a discount, and I charge the exact same amount to every single person. I was like, because I never want two people to meet and then it'd be like, I don't know why it would come up, but it'd be like so awkward if somebody was like, oh, I pay this amount, and then the other person's like, oh, I only.
Well, that just happened to me. Remember I told you I was on the phone with a mutual friend, and he was like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm paying this much. And I was like, oh, I don't pay that much. And then I felt guilty. And then I'm like, what's going on? But I mean, I will say from a business perspective, we do price differently based on the client, but that's more like business side, and we're in a different world.
I was going to say, but that's like, but your proposals are completely different. What you're offering is completely different.
The scopes are generally different.
It's not the same service, and it's just based on like, I started at this point and just kept going down until they finally said
no. And
yes.
I mean, this is maybe my professional opinion. I also don't discount our services because I did in the past, and you show up differently, and just to be, from my experience, it never ends well. It never ends well. You're always pissed. They always want more. And then you're like, why the fuck did I give them a discount? I wish I just would have charged them the whole thing.
Yeah.
Your price is your price. And have, not just because you picked that price and it felt good, because you strategically created that price and it works for you based on the time you're going to put into the project and the deliverable. But discounting a service takes away from the service. And I do think you show up differently. But I mean, just getting back to what we were saying about like the passive income and all of that, it all just, you have to just get out there and start creating and start trying things and start doing them. And like I tried discounting, try the discount, try it full price. And to your point about finding the price and winging it with, oh, I think this person can work more. That's where I kind of was saying, I think people can be a little greedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they start to get this like, I don't want to, it's like a weird confidence, like cockiness a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it did work for them. And so now they upcharge only because they can and not because the value that they're providing is better.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, what we're trying, the thing that's actually frustrating is earn it. And we want, like, go out there and earn it and go out there. And this is actually this is my big takeaway, because as somebody who has tried to build things online, who has, kind of done all the things, get out into the real world. Mm-hmm. Like, go. Andrew actually called me out on something. I think it was like right after the election. And I was like, Andrew, everybody is so mean. Like, I am like just blow. And he's like, who's everyone?
Right.
And I was like, everyone on social media. And he's like, get off your phone and get out into the real world, because there's nobody. He's like, I've had 19 conversations today and not a single person was mean. And I was like, okay, you're right. And I think this is where I was like, it's easy to sit behind a screen and to perfectly curate what you are going to say and all the things that make you so great and all the things that make your business wonderful and why they should pick you as a coach and all these different things. And get out into a networking event, have to say it without a filter, or you didn't rewrite it 3 different times.
Yeah. Well, and let somebody experience you in real life, because when people ask me like, oh, how did you find all these clients? That's a question I get a lot. I went to so many networking events and I talked to everybody I came in contact with. I was telling them what I was doing. And there's something about meeting somebody in person that you do not get through your phone or your computer.
Well, you can't fake it.
No. And it's organic. And I will say, like, I've had people come up to me in a networking event and be like super salesy. And I know, I'm like, that's not for me. And then I've had people become really great friends of mine. So there's something about being in person, in a room with somebody, talking about business, learning about them beyond the computer and beyond the screen, and asking about their kids and asking about what they like to do, watching what kind of coffee they get. Like, thinking about acknowledging them as a human more than just a transaction, I think is the bigger thing. And I think so many times in the online space now, everybody is just, it's super transactional. Every interaction has an ulterior motive behind it. I get a DM from somebody, like a random person, oh, I noticed this about you. I love coffee too. I'm like, you're trying to sell me something. Like, but I mean, it's the truth. Sure enough, they turn around, they try to sell me something.
Yes.
Like, there is just something about meeting people in real life where you can gauge the authenticity better and meet your people and understand who you want to work with and help get your business out there. And it helps the growth happen, I think, a lot faster, which then you can turn around and then go to social media, where you're not on social media grasping for straws in this like universe of, I don't even know how many people are on there.
I don't know either.
Lots.
And you're not constantly comparing yourself to, like, that's the other, there's like this comparison trap on social media. And Andrew, one time he read something and it was essentially, you have to understand that social media is a marketing platform.
For sure.
That is it. Like, so you're not going on there and looking at, it has turned into, oh, let me share my life, to I am going to sell you something. That is literally what it is. But I actually think when Becca and I were talking about this subject, one of the main things that we really wanted to talk about was get out from behind the screen. Get out from behind the screen. And if you want to build a hobby, do it wherever you want. If you want to build a business, get out into the real world. Go talk to real humans. Fuck it up. Like you are going to stumble over your words. Like you are going to be like, okay, that didn't go so well. Like you're going to be sweating when they're doing the whole like go around the table thing and tell you what you do. You're like,
remember when you called me from that networking event and you were like, I had to leave because I was sweating so bad.
I am a sweaty, like when I get nervous or I get excited, really I just sweat all the time. But like when I get nervous or excited, I get so sweaty. But like, I'm pretty.
Side note.
Thanks for sharing that. No, but it's true. Like you're gonna be so.
It's about being uncomfortable. I think is the biggest thing. It's so easy to post a curated perfect post. It is so fucking hard to be in a room with 50, like
where you don't have chat in your back pocket.
Right? People will be like, "Oh, you want me to go to an event and just like walk up to people?" I'm like, "Yeah." Walk up to them and say your name and shake their hand and hand them your business card and tell them what you're doing, and they're going to tell you who they are, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and maybe you like it might be awkward as fuck. I've totally been there where I'm like, okay, this conversation's over, but at least you're out there in the world making yourself uncomfortable, which is a more important muscle to be flexing than constantly staying safe on social media.
Yeah. And just give yourself a chance. Like if let's go to work the muscle. Okay. Like if we're going to work this muscle, it's the uncomfortable muscle. It's the being imperfect. It is the not doing things from this curated, perfect standpoint and being able to go out and just be messy and just be yourself. And if you truly want to build something, get out from behind the screen and thinking that is the safe route. I'll never forget my friend Amy, when I was in my hiding phase. We're going to call it, I need to come up with like a name for that phase of my life, that chapter, my cocoon. Yeah. She was like, you are hiding behind behind your screen 100%. Like you are like you're barely showing up and yet you're still hiding. Or like I was hiding behind the podcast in a lot of ways. And I was doing the things because then I could say I was doing something, but I wasn't doing the thing that I needed to be doing. And that was being out into the world. That was getting out and telling people what I'm doing and telling people. And I think that was, I work with people on this every single week, is you're doing things to make yourself believe that you're working on the thing, but you're actually doing those things as a distraction from doing the thing that you actually need to be doing.
Oh my gosh. That's like, okay, so I had we have been also going through a growth, like the last year. It's been like a ton of growth in business. And I had someone recently reach out to me and say, hey, I noticed you haven't been on social media. Okay, so I'll just say we have not been on social media because we've been focusing on in-person clients, referrals, everything off the screen. This person reached out to me and said, I noticed you haven't been on social media. Are you not doing business anymore? And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I'm busy doing the business. I'm busier than ever.
Yeah.
And it was like comical to me that because I wasn't posting curated things on social media that you thought I was legit out of business.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to a point, we're getting back on social media. I think it's important to have a presence from a business perspective and to share all the things, but it's not all there.
Right. And I think some of the busiest people aren't doing their...
Some people are not on social media at all.
No. Oh, my God. God forbid. But I think some of the busiest people, they don't have time for it until they hire somebody to do their social media because you're too busy doing the actual
It's a full-time job.
Work. Yes.
We do social media as a service for people, and I don't even do my own social media because we don't have time for it.
I know. I go on there sometimes, and I'm like, picture. I don't know. Like, I have to put so much thought into it. But I think, so for anybody who's listening who's like, okay, well, I don't have a business. So the takeaway is do things that make you uncomfortable. Do things that allow you to grow. And for me, before I started, I was getting back out into the business world a little bit, but we moved to this new city and I picked other things that allowed me to have the potential to fail at. So I started with a swimming coach, which was, I had to work the muscle of letting somebody in again, letting somebody critique me again, letting somebody give me some feedback. And so I started with a swimming coach, and then I started pottery. And so it wasn't that I was going into these networking events, but I took a pottery class, and there was a chance I was going to look stupid. There was a chance that I was going to fail, but actually that's what I needed. And it allowed me to gain so much more confidence in every other, because you have to just remember that it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall on your face. It's okay to look stupid.
The feeling that you get from being vulnerable and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you had us do a exercise when I first was in EBLA. Do you want me to talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Stacy had everyone in the course go buy flowers, and I think you could either drop them off on a random person's front porch or you could hand them to somebody. But I think the goal was to hand them to somebody.
Just give them to a random person.
So, of course, I did it. Even though I was like, I remember being at Kroger, I bought the flowers. I'm like at the cashier, and there was like a cashier and a bagger. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this was also the beginning of my self and business development time. And I'm like, I'm going to give it to the bagger. I'm like trying to talk myself up. And then what do? I just walk out with the flowers. I did not give it to the bagger. I did not give it to the grocery store. I'm like, okay, I can just like take it to somebody's random porch. And then lo and behold, the bagger followed me out because I forgot something. And she was like, is that the right word? A bagger? I feel like I'm saying that wrong.
I don't know, but
whatever.
I think
the person that puts the things in the bag.
The long version. Okay, anyways.
She came out to my car because I had forgotten an item. And I was like, okay, rip off the Band-Aid. And I was like, hey, I want to give you these flowers. And she was like looking at me like I had 3 heads. And I was like, I'm in this thing and I just, I got to do it. And you're the one that I want to give it to you. And she said, you have no idea how happy this makes me. My mom just passed away and I've been having a really hard time. And this just made me feel so good. And that was like one of the first times I think that I saw one that you have to just do the thing. And it's never going to be – I had 2 opportunities then. I got so lucky.
Yeah.
But you have no idea how that will help you grow personally and potentially externally for other people and people around you.
Yeah. And I just think that our presence in the world is so important. And we're getting more and more comfortable behind screens, and – especially with COVID, you know what I mean? Like and now what I will say is that people are craving connection.
Yeah.
They're craving in-person connection. And so if you want to get ahead, do the thing that nobody's doing. Make phone calls. Like, oh my gosh, I call people and you would think that I'm like some sort of unicorn. Like it is. They're like, it's so good to hear your voice. I can't believe you called. Like,
yeah.
And it's so if you truly want to get ahead in life, I don't care if you are building a business, I don't care what you're doing, do the thing that no one else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody's on social, get out into the real world. If everybody is, emailing and texting, make the phone call. Just do, because people are craving. And with AI and different things, I believe that the people are feeling more than ever that there's a lack of authenticity in the
1,000%.
world, and especially on the social media world.
Mm-hmm.
And so can you get out and allow your presence to do the talking? I think that's what, you're a beautiful human being that has so much to offer. And if you truly believe in yourself, go. And even if you don't, like, there are people who do need you. And so I don't want this to be like a crushing episode, like, don't be a coach. Like, no, there actually are people who need you. Be honest about where you're at. Be honest about what you're building, and get out into the world and let people experience the truth of of everything that you are, instead of thinking that you have to show up perfect in this world and just do what nobody else is doing. I think that is my takeaway. That was like but that's mine. That's my takeaways from this.
No, and just to what you said, the honesty and integrity is the driving force. I don't want anybody to think like I'm anti-coach. I've always had a mentor or a coach in some aspect. So I do see the value in it. It's the acting aspect and making sure you're acting from your core values, which generally most people's include honesty and integrity, transparency, authenticity. Also in the marketing space, it's a huge push right now that's what people are craving from. Like, there's data and analytics around it that people want authenticity. They don't want fake. They want real. They want you to mess up. They want you to see that you're human and not that everything is robotic and perfect. So yeah, just
be messy.
Mess it up.
Mess it up. Fall on your face.
Yeah.
So I think as far as this goes, I think we've given a lot of action here, but it really is just get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's such a simple thing, but in every single moment, like, how can you do the thing that nobody else is doing? And not even that nobody else is doing, but just how can you be more honest? How can you be less perfect and just kind of be a little bit more messy with life and let people do something that you could fail at?
Yeah.
Or be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the best way to work this muscle, for sure.
So go get out there and do a little workout. That was weird. What does that even mean? Because you're going to work out your uncomfortable muscle.
Okay. I got you. I didn't know if you meant like an actual workout.
I mean, you could, though. I mean, that could
be
something. Just something you're not wanting to do, something you feel tension behind in a good way, because you know that it could help your growth. So yeah, find something to do that makes you a little bit nervous and go do it.
And just be honest. Be vulnerable in the way of letting people know exactly where you're at, letting them in on your process, and not pretending to be something that you're not. Like, just own who you are in this exact moment, and lead with that. Lead with that authenticity would be, I don't know. All right.
Amen.
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 All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for you on this episode. So get out there, be bold, be unapologetic, and just be yourself.